I have to get this out. I just watched someone on TikTok give birth, like have a baby in the hospital. I wasn't following her. I was just on my For You, and a live shows up, and I'm like, this woman looks like she's in pain, and you could tell that it was the chest, like here up was the camera view, and she was kind of like just looking up, but her body was kind of moving a little bit, like something was happening below off camera. And I was like, is she okay? Like, I was about to be like, what the fuck is happening? She looked like she was in pain. She more looked disassociated. And then I hear some of like the noise, and I'm like, oh, she's having a baby right now. And based off of what I'm seeing, I'm assuming she has an epidural and she can't feel anything. And later into the live, she says she didn't feel anything. Like, she first few moments as the baby came out. Let me just describe to you what I saw and what I hear medical staff saying. And, you know, I felt this urge to like scroll away because I don't know this woman. The man who's recording, he got like 1,000 views and likes already. And so I'm like, oh, is this for views and likes? But she seemed really genuine. I've got some things to say, because not everything was accurate to the trueness of things. And hear everyone in the room kind of make noise that the baby had just come out. Like, I literally scrolled across this as the baby was like descending from her birth canal. Disassociated. She's numbed down below, so she's not noticing pushes. Like, I didn't hear any medical staff advising her to push or anything. Within the first like 60 seconds, 2 minutes, I'd say, of watching this live, you hear the baby come out and someone's like, oh, he's here. And then you're watching her look across the room and she's got tears in her eyes. You hear the baby crying, but 3 times she says, why isn't he crying? And you can hear him crying. I can hear him crying. Everyone reassures her, he's crying, he's okay, he's crying. And then she's like, why is he crying? Is he crying? Why is he crying? They're like, oh no, he's crying. You know, which really would explain that spacey zone she's in. And honestly, birth without medication is a very spacey space. The body has a way of pretty much removing your brain from your body so that you're not feeling the intensity of birth while birthing. I mean, in my natural labor, there's a spacey feeling where like you feel completely fragmented. Grounding yourself back down into earth space after having a baby is difficult, and I can't imagine how much more so that would be a birth space where there's a lot of these hospital procedures and medications that they're giving you and stuff that could probably also give that effect. Notions that were made that were just untrue to physiological birth and humans and how we are. The baby's crying. I hear him cry, and then he's quiet. That's okay. He doesn't need to be screaming his head off the whole time. That's okay. He made like a and then he was quiet again. Shortly after that, he makes another really loud noise, like really loud cry. I'm watching her watch whatever they're doing off screen. She's crying. I'm like, why haven't they given her her baby? Like, why isn't the baby immediately laid on the chest? Like, what are they doing? And then I remember hospitals do that thing where they like suck all the snot out of their nose, because they say that like that's the only way to make the baby breathe, basically, is to steal his first breath. Okay, so this suctioning thing right when the baby comes out, here is some evidence-based research printed out, ready to go with me to the hospital, because that was one of the things. I had my baby at home recently. I was prepared, but I cannot imagine trying to tell someone all this in the hospital in the middle of labor. That would have been, I couldn't even talk. So frustrating is they take advantage of women in this very vulnerable state and make these decisions for them without ever explaining to them the decisions they make for them. And you're in this state of vulnerability. Coercion is more easy to happen and is a huge issue, especially in maternal care. If this subject interests you, I encourage you to check out this article. It's very helpful to inform yourself on the issue. Convincing you to do something and saying your body isn't doing it right and you need, the whole thing is they're trying to manage labor, they're trying to manage birth, they're trying to control something that is really physiologically outside of control. The amount of control they do in this process only creates like friction, tension, unpleasantness for mother and baby. There's no reason to suction out and basically steal their first breath out of them. They will breathe on their own. Yes, there are situations where a baby would need help and need to be resuscitated. However, the amount of misguided information where it's default for all births in hospital that and the baby goes, Wah! Like screams super loud. It's a hospital birth I witnessed on TikTok Live. Yes, I have so many things to say about it. So this is going to lead into a full series. So let's get into this now that I'm done with my little heated rant. Sorry, hormones are really amping me up. Suctioning neonates at birth. Time to change our approach. A better way to clear secretions from a neonate's mouth and nose, and it's less likely to cause adverse effects. Wait. Is this saying that what they're doing could cause adverse effects? Let's practice changer. Stop suctioning neonates at birth. Neonates. Okay, gonna call them babies. What is a neonate? There is no benefit to this practice. No benefit to this practice. And it can cause bradycardia and apnea. Okay, never heard of that. And apnea. Is that like apnea, like sleep apnea? Pronounced bradycardia.
Bradycardia.
Bruh, I just looked up the meaning of this word. So wait, suctioning the nose can cause the heart rate to slow down? Excuse me, why are we doing this? APNEA. Instead, this is what should be done. Instead of suctioning snot out of their nose, wipe the baby's mouth and nose with a towel to clear excess secretions and stimulate respiration. Something I noticed with hospital births, and they did it with my son, and I asked for them to put him immediately on my chest. He did a bath later. I regret doing the bath at all. On my chest, I had like one nurse just like patting him. Like, I'm gonna use my baby for example. This is what I would do. You stimulate the back. So I got him on my chest and I'm doing this. I'm kind of giving a deep massage and stimulating his back like that. That's what they'll do. But these nurses, I've seen a lot of videos, they'll be like, just like super rub it, like it seems a little intense. And I've even seen videos where people are like, stop touching the baby, stop touching him, like just get away. And at the same time, they'll have someone over here sucking him out, or they do this away from the mother. So the baby's first interactions is being held by 3 or 4 people while they bathe them and they wipe all of the good mush that's on them. That's the, I can't think of the name, but it's that white lotion stuff. I just rub it into my baby for the next couple days. We don't do a bath right away. That's really good, like skin protectant. It's supposed to be there. It's supposed to just absorb into their skin. We wash it off right away. We got a dry, flaky baby. Like their skin was in water that entire time. I digress. My son, the most caked up he was in his eyes. He didn't even open his eyes right away. And he did about 4 minutes after birth. He started to peek them open. I don't think he could because it was so caked up. So I did have to, I just took my finger and gently mushed that lotiony stuff. I can't remember the name of it. The white stuff off of the creases of his eyes. It was malleable enough. I didn't need a like washcloth or anything. This part, so it was like right on the crease of his eyelids, and I just kind of did this and moved it lower to his other parts of his cheeks and then kind of massaged it around his face. I wasn't too stressed about him opening his eyes. Oh, like if you ever held down your toddler when they have a cold and you have to suck all the snot out, we know that is not fun. Okay, not for them, not for us as parents. They don't like it. It's uncomfortable. It's kind of scary because like baby is still getting oxygen through the placenta. So sometimes they don't take that breath right away. They're still waking up to the new world. My daughter was born and I put her on my chest. I started stimulating her back. I didn't hear her first breath until about 20 seconds into stimulating her breath and holding her, and like I just showed you, Focus.
Follow for the next part because I'll finish reading this paperwork, and I will continue to make my observations about this hospital birth and the differences I see from hospital to home birth.